afternoon. My name is Jason Patno. I'm the director of the Charleston County Emergency Management Department. We're here today to talk about tomorrow, June 1st, the kickoff of the 2018 hurricane season, and to emphasize the importance of being prepared and ready should a hurricane threaten South Carolina. We have Governor McMaster here with us today.
Thank you, Jason. And of course, I'm happy to be here. It's always a pleasure to get around South Carolina. As you know, the city of Charleston, this area, has been recognized as the #1 tourist destination in the world at least one time, and several times as the #1 tourist destination in the United States. And Greenville, South Carolina, just recently was #2. So we have people coming from all over, and a lot of them are unaware of the danger posed by hurricanes, and they certainly don't know the way around the roads as well as those of us who've lived here for many years do. So that's the job of our emergency preparedness plan, is to be sure everyone knows what to expect and knows how to deal with it, how to react. And we cannot control the weather, and we know we're going to have hurricanes. It's just a question when and where and how bad will they be. But we can control our own preparedness, and so that's what we're doing today. We're looking at preparedness in action, and I need to say that last year we were highly prepared, and I think that was probably the most efficient, most synchronized, highly organized, precision-guided exercise when the hurricane came that many people say they've ever seen, and that was because of communication and collaboration. We've broken down all the walls. We know whom to call. We all know each other. We work together, most of us, for many years, and so we are as ready as we can be, but we want to get stronger and stronger to be sure that we don't issue an evacuation order too early or too late, that we know exactly what's going on, exactly what to expect. So assure you that this team, South Carolina, is in constant communication at every level. And of course, we depend on the press to get the word out. We depend on people to understand that there's some sources that they should rely on for accurate information, and others they should not rely on. Well, we have a great team, and some of the members of the team are going to speak very briefly and then we'll open it up for questions. I'd like to call on first Kim Stinson. Kim is the director of the South Carolina Emergency Management Division. Kim?
Thank you, sir. As the governor said, it's important for all of us to be prepared, no matter what hits South Carolina. Right now we're talking about hurricanes, but it could be floods, it could be pretty much anything, wildfires. So what we're asking all our residents to be is their own emergency manager. And you may end up being the help until help arrives. So we want everybody to have a plan. So that's the big message for this year, and it's very simple. It's have a plan and make it personal. Have a plan and make it personal. But in order to get a plan, you've got to have certain tools to help you along, just like we all do. So we've got three tools that we've had, two of them for a while and one of them just very recently, and I'll talk real quickly about all three of them. The first is our website at scemd.org, and it's recently has been revamped. It's now more user-friendly in terms of concentrating on what people need to get prepared as opposed to organizing it in other ways. But it's got a wealth of information, and we keep it updated, and that's scemd.org. The second tool that we've got and recently debuted earlier this week is our South Carolina Emergency Manager app, and that can be downloaded on your smartphone. It's available at Google Play. It's also the App Store, and you can access it through scemd.org as well. It does a couple of things. One is it allows you to make your own personal plan. It has checklists in there for you to go through to check what you need in terms of making yourself prepared. If you have to evacuate, what you need to take, papers, medications, that sort of thing. And then it's also got some real-time information during emergencies, such as know your zone and shelter information about where shelters are located and where they're open and that sort of thing. So that's all going to be real time, but that's an important tool. We're real excited about debuting that this week. And then the last item I want to talk to you, and I know a lot of you are familiar with this, and it's the 2018 version of the South Carolina Hurricane Guide, which I think we put it out probably about 15 years now. But that's chock full of information about what you need to do before, during, and after a hurricane. And it's got lots of good information there. It was recently distributed in newspapers from the coast back to Columbia over the weekend. It's available at 20 DMV offices, at coastal offices. It's available at Walgreens statewide, and also always available on our website at scend.org. So again, to summarize, the message is real simple. Have a plan and make it personal.
Thank you, Kim Stinson. Rob Perry, South Carolina Department of Transportation.
Thank you, Governor Masters,
Yes,
and thank you for having us here today. Obviously, it's that time of year again. That's why we're here. But most folks don't know that preparedness starts way before this. South Carolina Department of Public Safety is here, and you're going to hear from Major Rob Woods in a minute. But they're the lead agency when it comes to these evacuations. But it takes a village, and so we start planning in January, February. We've ridden all the routes, we've checked all the routes, we've ensured all the signage is there. We've had our meetings with our partners in local government, because it takes us all when something like this happens. From the DOT's perspective, another thing that we always want to push is know your route. 511 is the app that we always ask folks to utilize when they're trying to figure out what is their evacuation route. Most folks, they automatically think I-26, but there are 35 assigned hurricane evacuation routes along the coast. And so I encourage you all, if you don't have it already, get the 511 app. You've got a layer that you can turn on the evacuation routes, and it'll color your map. It'll show all the routes, and all you have to do is hit triangulate when you're at home at tonight, and you can find out which route is closest to your home, so that you're prepared, not only prepared as far as your plan, but that you know your routes. And we look forward to continuing to support the Low Country and the coast, as well as our partners with local government and Department of Public Safety and EMD in these efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob Perry. Major Robert Woods.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. I am Rob Woods. I'm the Emergency Management Coordinator for the Department of Public Safety. I'm just going to reiterate a couple of points that have already been made by both Mr. Stinson and Rob Perry. First of all, our planning efforts now are coming to an end. We started in January. We've met in each one of our coastal conglomerates, worked with both our state and our local partners to ensure that the plan has been thoroughly reviewed and all the commitments are still current. We've gone through that process, and now we'll culminate that on June 7th with our full-scale exercise. And as a part of that, we'll do a simulated reversal of Interstate 26. We won't actually reverse the lanes, but working with our partners with SCDOT and our other state agencies, we will deploy people to I-26 from Charleston to Columbia to ensure everybody is aware of what their role is and how that operation is going to work if we have to, in fact, evacuate the Charleston area. So as we finish our efforts, just to tie in Mr. Stinson's point, we ask for the public now to commit to their planning efforts. And as a part of that, of course, is knowing your route, which Rob Perry emphasized, and just overall having a good plan as to what you need to do if you need to evacuate. One thing that we've encouraged in the past, and we continue to encourage, if you're in a position to leave early, please do so. That makes the process a lot easier on everybody. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Major. Other comments, statements? Okay. Bill?
Bill Pegler, Berkeley County Supervisor. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And as you can tell, the county and the state are working together to provide a plan for you to safely evacuate, and also we're also working with shelters. But we'd ask each and every one of you to make sure that you take advantage of the things that have been presented here before. We also ask that you work closely with us, and we appreciate everything that's been done by the media. I have worked through 2 hurricanes, an ice storm, and a flood since I've been in office. I hope that is an indication because I've been in office, but I have seen improvements in these emergency services every year. And this is by far the best that I've seen us prepared since I've been supervisor. I applaud the governor on his efforts, and also thank the departments who are working with us. Berkeley, Dorchester, Charleston, we are working together for the public and for their safety, and we hope to continue to do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill. Anything? Anything?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Jay Byers, Dorchester County. Thank you, Governor, for being here, and we certainly appreciate that. We've had a couple of events the last couple of years, as Supervisor Pegler just said, and that's really tested us. So we've got some of the best emergency management directors in the country right here in the Tri-County area, so we certainly appreciate their hard work and what they do. Dorchester County, one of the things we've done recently is we've rezoned some of our flood evacuation zones So there's about 80,000 people that need to evacuate when the governor calls for evacuation. We've got a lot of folks that have moved here and they're not necessarily accustomed to coastal storms. And it's important to take that seriously, because just because you're further inland does not mean that you're not in an evacuation zone that you need to leave. And you need to leave as early as possible so that we can actually mitigate the traffic of folks that have to get out from further closer to the coast. So we certainly appreciate emergency management doing that. It's important to take it seriously. Dorchester County, we're doing everything we can to be ready, and we certainly appreciate partnering with Berkeley and Charleston County as well as the state. Thank you, Governor, for being here. We appreciate y'all's time.
Thank you. Further. Vic?
I appreciate it. Henry, classmate, Governor, it's always a pleasure to have you with us. My two cohorts in crime from Berkeley and Dorchester, it's great to have you here. You will note that you are in the Emergency Operations Center that Charleston County built, that's utilized by everybody to include the state during emergency operations. Quite frankly, we're in great shape. All we need, frankly, is for our citizens to pay attention to the instructions that we give and make sure the instructions are from verifiable and valid sources. Let's not have hackers destroy the good work that has been done. The collaboration and cooperation is extensive. It's better than it ever has been. It continues to get better, even though we have a tremendous influx in population in all three counties. We are dealing with that. We have discussed and will continue to discuss routes, shelters, busing, safety, control, all of those things, and we'll continue to upgrade it. With the help of the governor's office and the agencies in the three counties, there's no doubt in my mind that we're in better shape now than we ever have been. And I hope we don't have a storm to worry about this year. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vic. Further comments, questions, ideas? Anyone have any questions for anyone here? Okay then. We all,
You've all talked about, I've heard you say that you have a good plan in place, that you think you're in a good position to help people. What are you doing differently this year from the lessons you learned last year?
A couple things that happened last year with Irma. Initially, it looked like it was going to be a catastrophic hit here in South Carolina. It wasn't, fortunately. Went more towards Florida. But if you remember, one of the things that we ended up doing was evacuating some of the barrier islands and some of the tidal areas in Jasper County. So because we did that this year, we went ahead and incorporated that into our plan so that we've got that right now. If we have to do it, we can do it much rapidly than we did last year. It all went well, but it's now been incorporated in the plan. But I'm very proud to say that we've had over the last, I guess, 4 now, emergencies, federal emergencies, large emergencies, that we've had no major systemic problems. We've always got things we can work on, but we've had no major systemic problems where we're completely failed. So we've got that going for us.
Would you tell us your name again?
Yeah, Kim Stenson. I'm with the State Emergency Management Division.
Kim,
K-I-M-S-T-E-N-S-O-N. All day long.
All day long. At least until lunchtime, right?
And you probably know this, but up at the Emergency Management Division headquarters in Columbia, there's constant information coming in from credible sources. These people here and others, and their maps and charts, and those things are poured over with a pinpoint accuracy to try to determine exactly what, if anything, needs to be evacuated, when, and there's a lot of information and a whole lot of thinking going on to try to understand and predict what is going to happen, where it's going to happen. We don't want to overreact, but we certainly don't want to underreact. But as Kim Stenson has said, these lines of communication and the flow of information are getting stronger and stronger every year, and that's very good news. Any more? Thank you for coming.